Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds. I'm Nerdicus Dave, joined by these fine nerds, and we have a extra nerd with us tonight, Carlos. Uh, and he has his own YouTube channel, which is linked down in the description, as well as you can find Robin and Steven and their links there as well. So we were so happy to have another person in the seat to round out the group. I can't wait to see what kind of sibling he shows up with. This should be very interesting. With that, I'm going to just turn things over to our illustrious dungeon master, Robin.
Yeah, salutations, nerds. Well, I was going to roll the D4 before I turned the world on, but it just occurred to me that Carlos wasn't here last week, so I'm gonna have to use the D6 again. And we're gonna go with Sin first.
All right. Hello, I am Nerdarchy Ted. I will be playing Galason Trithrel, the half-elven shadow sorcerer, and the eldest of the siblings, or at least, so far. We don't know where our new sibling is gonna be in the mix. Last session, we, after having previously defeated the Sphinx, we decided to sail back across the sea, and we wound up needing to explore at the behest of, Sin, this giant obsidian hand upthrust through the ocean. It's dark. It was glass. It's got to be cool to look at. So we decided to go poke and prod, and it pulled us underneath the waters. And it was this like massive Titanic construct, golem. I don't know, but it was massive, and we poked and prodded, and it wound up, coming back up to the surface and started heading back to town. It was a whole thing. I don't want to tell the whole thing, so I'm going to toss it over to my dear sibling, Steven.
Hey, so I remember that Vent actually ended up taking the giant obsidian, aka glass construct, and he and our sibling Louvel took it back to Luster, where they are from. And Luster is like a desert town, and Vent just happens to be the prince. So giant construct protects the city now, I guess, or some nonsense. So we're gonna get that bit figured out. Dave, have at it.
Yeah, so in between that and exploring the hand and getting pulled down to the bottom of the sea, we found that there was a giant air pocket at the bottom, and I believe our new Azamar friend called it a Titan. And Sheldon and Unga, who Sheldon is my beast companion, giant crab. Unga is a beastmaster ranger who I am half orc who I am playing. We conferred with each other and decided that with our star powers combined, we can maybe wake up this giant sleeping construct and see if it had anything interesting to say. It didn't. It only has a couple words that it says, and it's usually command not recognized, whatever that means. But we did, fortunately, as Steven said, find some commands it did recognize, and now it is somebody else's problem. More than likely our brother Vince's problem. But he's the smartest of us all, so he'll figure it out.
Okay, so you find yourselves coming ashore where you left to begin with. You've still got Talus with you. Myth has already informed you that she intends to stay on the Argo Navis as you go forth to whatever it is the land holds for you now. In tow, you have Unga's mother, the other chieftain of the Orc tribe, the Blackleafs, in fact, and scrolling up, Lurza, there we go, that's her name, who is Unga's little older sister. We're still not entirely sure how to describe that. So Cassius, I'm gonna peel away from that for just a second to open up on you. You are tailing a tiefling through the forest of black leaves. I want you to tell me why you are chasing this person.
Over
spending some time. So I'm invisible at the moment. As I stare over at this tiefling, I see a mark on her that's very reminiscent of one that I have. One that I called the birthmark for many, many years. One that grew me some leering eyes growing up. But I see the tiefling and her birthmark, and it immediately catches my attention as I follow.
Okay. So in that case, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Are you looking at myth or prudence?
Definitely prudence.
Okay. So prudence, you have eyes on you, but they're invisible eyes, so probably not a very good chance that you're aware of that. All of you are currently on the beach.
How far away?
Cassius.
I would say I'm not too far away. Probably about football throwing distance. I want to keep within distance just to follow as well,
Would you be close enough for basically to hear our conversations?
Absolutely. Absolutely, good sir.
Okay. Sheldon has blind sight out to 30 feet.
Yeah, so I think that's 30. I think that's football throwing distance. Or whatever the sports balls is,
Well, I mean, you could be anywhere from 30 feet to 30 yards, on, how close you're trying to get to. I mean,
So I guess I'm outing myself with my throwing arm. Let's go 30 feet then.
All right. Hey Dave, is Sheldon going to tell the rest of you about this?
Yeah, I think he would at least tell Unga. Hey, brother. There's something over there. It's following us. What do you mean there's something over there? And I look over there and I don't see anything. I'm like, I don't see anything. Sheldon says, I turn to the rest of the group. Sheldon says somebody's following us.
I know
all right.
Stealth, if that means anything.
Sheldon, where is it?
And then he'll point with a claw.
All right. Well, it's up to you, DM, if I can get a rough 20-foot cube in that area. If you allow,
Fireball.
Oh no! I'm gonna roll up a new character.
No, it's not that bad. Come on, where's the
trust?
where's? I'm trying to figure out what kind of save he needs to make.
If it's fairy fire, it's a dex save.
Oh no, I'm doing is it now Nathir's Mischief.
Ooh, what's that?
Oh.
That's my fun new spell.
That sounds like a wisdom, charisma, or intelligence saving throw.
So it is going to be a 2. So you're going to have to make a dex save.
Can I choose to fail?
Yes.
I'm gonna absolutely fail. I rolled
All right,
really
so
too good.
bouquets of flowers appear all around, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a dex saving throw or be blinded until the start of their next turn as flowers spray water in their face.
Oh my god.
Do we hear this?
I mean, yeah, invisible is not silent.
Okay.
If I can hear you,
I
you
imagine
guys can hear me.
we see the water, right, spraying around a humanoid shape.
Mm-hmm.
Do they, Ted?
Yeah, I mean it's not a it's real.
Mm.
You see like me just like trying to block all this stuff coming out of my face as like, all this water.
Well, Sheldon, it appears you're right. There's something over there.
What does your
Sheldon,
character's frame look like, Carlos?
From what you guys can see, you guys maybe see he looks like a regular man from just his outline.
okay. Sheldon, go left. I'll go right. And we begin. We pincher maneuver, and we begin flanking.
Guy's about to lariat me. What? What's happening?
What? No, Larry. It's like a great axe.
All right. So it stays, and it changes each round. So do you move out of that area, Mr. Invisible Person?
All right, I drop the invisibility and say, I'm friendly. I'm friendly. Please, not with the axe.
Oh my god, get that man some clothes.
And as you get closer, I notice maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Ungo, do you have the same birthmark?
I do. I believe mine's on the side of my face.
Oh man.
It helps if I look in the right place. Yeah, on my left cheek.
Oh man. So yeah, even though there's like a whole bunch of stuff splurting in my face, like no, I do see this, and it's like, no, I'm not here to harm anyone. I'm just curious.
Sheldon has the same mark on
left.
the back of his shell too.
Wow. Wait a minute. Those
wouldn't
are
be
the
able-
thoughts going through his head.
You wouldn't be able to see mine. It's covered up by my shirt.
Okay.
Tramp stamp.
No, it's my chest down my upper arm.
I see.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that joke was made before as well.
Oh god.
Well,
And
why are you lurking around and hiding in the shadows?
Yes, that's my job.
Curious. I saw this one as I point over to Prudence, saying her mark is similar to mine. I kind of like, lift up what little covering I have to show it my birthmark. And you across your face, and
Is Dad with us?
Yep. He's like standing around the back and like kind of watching on, and like you can see the mental math going on in his head because he has absolutely no idea where this one came from.
and the little crustacean too.
Well,
There was a polymorph involved.
he's probably like a 300-400 pound crab, but little if you like. It's a lot of delicious crab meat there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you start eyeing up Sheldon, with anything that could possibly look like you want to eat him, magic begins to flow within Sin's hands.
So wait a minute, you're why do I always forget Dad's name? I flip back and forth.
Calden.
Calden Lucifex.
You're a spawn of Calden as well?
Suppose
I thought there was only supposed to be
know.
7 of us.
My father.
I only knew about 7 of you. Who's your mother?
Xena.
No.
Was she a warrior princess?
No. You're thinking of Xena, my aunt.
No way. I didn't even know that was possible. And he's gonna like just pass everybody and walk up to you, and he's like walking a tight circle around you, just giving you the once over.
So, Father, do you know this one?
No. But I believe him.
Is there any...
Wait a minute, you actually had sex with a human?
I'm just gonna leave that one to him to explain. I'll be over here. And
Is there
he
any
wanders.
familial resemblance between this newcomer and Dad?
Don't you have your face covered?
I'll reveal it briefly for him to see.
Is there?
A centaur woman. Do you remember her?
I do. That was a wild night indeed. Pretty sure we weren't even on this plane of existence at the time either.
Yes, sometimes things in the Feywild can get a little bit different.
Centaurs,
kidding.
crabs, Afrites. Is there anything else out there, Dad, that we should know about?
You don't look like a centaur.
I took half of my mom, half of my dad, and this is what I look like now.
On the bright side, you got my best features. And he just grins.
Prudence kind of side eyes him, and then she looks over at Galayson and Unga and shrugs. If Vent were here, he would point out that this is about as close to a destined meeting as anything, I would suppose.
Except that he was following us. Like, normally, I would be all excited about, seeing a new sibling. I mean, the mirrors, showed me that there's plenty more out there. I mean, we know how Dad was either. So I'm expecting that there's more, but
If I didn't come looking, would you even bother, Father?
I didn't know that you existed. I didn't know where to look. So no, probably not, but it isn't anything personal. I just didn't realize that it was possible for you to be here.
Yeah, but
Well,
don't feel bad. He didn't come looking for me either. And the giant crab speaks up.
There are, well, let's put it this way. Calden Lucifax, this is your child, your siblings. I am Galayson Trisrel. This is Unga, as I gesture towards Dave. This is Sheldon, as I gesture towards the crab. And this is your dear sister, Prudence, as I gesture towards Stephen's character.
Hello. He, him, she, her. We also have a sister that is a pirate, Myth, she, her. We have a brother who's a prince, a fire genasi, Vent, he, him. And then he is accompanied by our dear sibling, Louvel, who is in fact human, they, them.
So while you're just going up the whole itinerary
Roster.
the whole roster, of this family, like halfway through, Cassie was getting a little bit emotional. Like, I barely even knew my own people, let alone I was related to anyone that might have given a semblance of caring. So,
Well, as soon as you can validate what you're saying and be convinced that you are indeed who you say you are, well, then you will have plenty of family to deal with. But first,
deal with.
I'm just gonna give you the once over. I'm gonna ask Prudence to kind of take a look and see if the constellation is real. If you're willing, dear sister.
Very well.
I'm just gonna try and see if his story is legit. Is he? I'm good with dealing with people. Is he lying? Is this some kind of charade or some kind of farce to get in on us and cause some harm? Because there's definitely people we've pissed off and people that might want us done.
Can I roll medicine to see if it's real?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to use that good Nerdarchy die.
Hopefully you roll good.
I got a 19 on the die plus 6 for 25.
It is legit, but it hasn't been activated the way that all of yours have. And with a roll that high, you can tell this one does not have a star hidden in him yet.
Okay. Prudence will express all of those things to everyone, including the enigmatic yet.
And does he appear to be telling the truth?
He does. And she'll like look directly into his eyes, and then she will say, while holding his attention, and I do think that we can trust him.
Well, then, excellent. And any amount of frostiness that was in, Sin's bearing, he's just gonna bound across the sand and wrap this newcomer up in a hug.
Bring it in.
Yeah, Ugo will walk up and clasp him on his back, hard enough to almost break things. And don't worry, brother, your star power will come in. Some people are just late bloomers. Let me tell you about the time that me and Sheldon used our star power to awaken a Titan.
It was yesterday, dear brother.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It. You can see it walking in the distance. It's that humanoid shape over that way.
That mountain that seems to be
What?
going away. Yeah, me and Sheldon did that.
How? Why?
We don't do things by half.
What is it doing now?
I think most of us do everything by half.
Is it itching? Is it
that's-
itching its foot?
Ugh. I don't know.
Aw.
I'm sure Vent will take care of that, whatever that is. He is the smartest of us.
If our dear brother does not deal with it, then I am sure his mother, the queen, will have something to say on the matter.
I'm sure she's not the only one that'll have something to say on the matter, Talus says as she comes back to where the group is. Talus, not one of your siblings, and then she hands you a black apple.
They're delicious.
They are.
So what was your name again, dear sibling?
Cassios.
Cassius or Cassios?
Cassios.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure to make your acquaintance and welcome you to our little family here. And little, I say in somewhat of jest.
I mean, it keeps growing. Who knows how many of us are out there? And I kind of give Calden a look.
Calden, who is currently in the process of once again trying to chat up Talus, who is not having it.
That is definitely a college of creation bard. Just saying.
So I'll throw Data a glance, trying to just say give it up. Whether he picks up on that, is entirely up to him.
Oh, actually, he rolled really well on that insight check and is inclined to listen to you. So
For now, he's probably just catching his breath. So
Right.
Cassios, you come from the Feywild,
Yes.
and your mom's a centaur.
Indeed, but I haven't seen her or the Feywild in a very long time.
I find that especially fascinating because I was raised by a night hag who taught me much about the Feywild.
Oh. As I clearly take an interest to, what you're saying about his homeland. Please tell me more.
She taught me the ways of magic, specifically druidism.
Oh. I am actually privy up in the School of Illusion.
Oh, so you're a wizard.
Indeed.
How interesting. Do you have a spell book?
And so I pull out this old brown, weathered looking book. It's the cover is definitely beat up a bit, but he's clearly keeping it as pristine as condition as he can. This used to be my grandfather's. As he looks over to Dad, the one I know, and I keep it close to me. It's the last part of home that I have.
Wow, you're probably almost as smart as Vent. He was raised by a dragon.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it is interesting to have you here. Was it mere chance? You definitely seemed, interested in the birthmarks. Just curious to know how you came about finding us.
Well, there are these rumors across the land about a traveling bunch with marks on them, and how rumors go. Some true, some not true.
What are they saying about us? I'm most interested.
Did you see the light in the sky?
I wonder if it's from that time that we killed Bird Eater, the giant snake that was terrorizing Canopy.
Were you in Canopy? Oh, I so love that place. So beautiful.
I traveled by it, but those were you?
Yes.
Oh my god. By the
We also
gods.
killed Prudence's mom.
We did. Not the night hag. The night hag was my adoptive mother. My true mother is not necessarily dead. She's more banished to the nine hells until she recovers enough energy to plane hop again.
That's what I was going to say. It isn't more like, we put her in a timeout per se.
Every time I hear something wild, I'm just turning over at Dad. You know what?
Oh, maybe you talked to Tweezle. He's a bird we rescued.
Or was it the dragon that we slew?
Typically slain dragons don't tell stories.
Well, I mean, the story of, not the. I mean, we let some of the kobolds go. They obviously must have talked about us.
Yeah, all right.
And he's a wizard of illusion, not necromancy. So he did not speak with the dragon for certain.
Well, I mean, to be fair, one does not need to be a necromancer to talk to the dead. You just have to know the right spell.
Well, as I nod my head up and down in agreement, like, yeah, all those things are sometimes, man,
What do you know about mimics?
Interesting creatures. They're pretty akin. I appreciate them because how they try to, pardon the pun, mimic what an object would be, same as an illusion would.
So how tall is Cassios?
He's about maybe 5'9"
All right, so you're a little bit shorter than I. So I wrap my my right arm kind of like over your shoulder, and I kind of not so much whisper, but just say quietly, "We're gonna try and adopt one."
And I come up on the other
Why?
side and kind of start ushering you in the direction we were going. Well, we're actually probably going to steal it.
Why?
I was trying to be a little loosey-goosey with the word choice. I don't really know what Cassios is like just yet. I mean, we don't want to scare off dear brother just yet.
He's one of our siblings. Of course he's going to want to help us.
So what is
Why?
what is it that you're looking to do? I mean, obviously you've come looking for someone with a birthmark similar to yours. You found a handful of us. what's your plan next? As we're trying to like pull you along.
Oh, this is perfect. We need to go capture those other tieflings and rip the stars out of them. And you don't have your star power yet. So what if we just give you their star?
What? Why? Who?
Talus holds up a hand. Now hold on a second.
You're going to tell us about paperwork, aren't you?
No, I'm not going to tell you about paperwork. I'm going to tell you about how those stars have to be accounted for. Otherwise, they're going to know where you are. I can cover for you to a certain extent. I can make sure nobody finds you. Except for the fact that I was tasked here with recovering those stars. And if I don't do that, it's going to be on my head.
Well,
I just wanted family.
And Cassius can
What?
probably hear Prudence muttering, at this point, he probably wants to stay with us just to make sure that we are not going to break the world again.
You did what? Oh, Lord.
so what is it that you're looking to do, dear brother? As I look at you, Casca.
I just wanted to find something to cling on to. I had no idea it would be this chaotic.
No,
As I said, welcome to the chaos.
I believe you're looking for the word energetic.
There's a certain charm to it. I'll begrudgingly admit that.
Is that Talus speaking?
Yes.
And then, like, as I looked, as I pondered through one of my books, I guess that's a cinnamon, but
So, I kind of like step away from Cassius for a minute. Talus, at least we make it interesting, even if it is with a little bit of extra paperwork. And I just give her a smile.
And she is both scowling and smiling at you at the same time, and it's interesting that she can make her face do that.
Yeah, so I'll lean in and whisper to Cassius, despite what the uppity angel says, this is destiny. You're going to get one of those stars. Even Sheldon has a star.
As he looks back down at Sheldon, like,
Sheldon does in fact have a star.
as he turns over to look at the angel, like, what?
So I'll pull the energy to my hand, but without releasing it. You can see the radiant glow, and then I just kind of like reabsorb it without releasing. It's a long story, and one that we can tell while we're walking. See, we have things to do, and as much as I'm not itching to get back and have a conversation with my grandfather, we do owe him a favor, and hopefully, just by delivering some things, it might be resolved. But who knows?
Okay.
But if you're looking for something to do and some adventure and energetic chaos, then come along. It will be fun.
This seems to be the way of the family. So let's walk and talk.
So Unga, are you have you given into Vince's role of destiny?
No, I just kind of miss him. So I figured it makes me feel like he's still here if we keep talking about destiny.
I miss him too. But we will see.
I didn't not give in to it, and everything Vent has said has come true, and he's been a fine leader up to this point, and he's never led us astray. So maybe there's something to his destiny talk. I don't know.
Well, in his name then, and I just do like a huzzah to Vent, even though he's not here.
So eventually you guys do get back to the Blackleaf tribe, and you find them in the midst of gathering up things for a feast. The children have returned to the village already, and it's a complicated reunion at best. There's a lot of sadness around, but at the same time, a lot of excitement. It is a cause for celebration, and you are all welcomed with open arms. As the kids are like filling in their parents as to like what you did to help them when they were still living in that hollowed out pirate ship. And they don't recognize Cassios, but a few of them are curious enough about you to like walk over and like pull you over to a table and ask you a zillion questions like as kids.
Like, dexterity and confidence tries.
I did not hear any of that. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry myself. With as much dexterity and confidence, I'll try to answer as much of these questions as I possibly can. Assuming they're not like really, really weird or personal.
They're not. They're just like, where did you come from? How do you know these people? Do you like apples? Like that sort of
You
thing.
like apples? Yes, they're delicious. Wait, wow.
At some point in time, like as things begin to kind of settle down, I will just kind of like make a space and just begin using a variety of spells and whatnot to provide some entertainment, whether I'm enlarging Sheldon or, just throwing, different random magic into the air with prestidigitation and mage hand and what have you. And then, for the kids, I'll like kind of get them into an area and then I'll throw up another Nathair's mischief into the lot and, show all of the hilarity that spell tends to do between, flowers blossoming, shooting water, the apple pie smell, making them, wacky and charmed and, or, them just being able to just laugh and giggle into hilarity, or molasses falling over everything, making them stick to the walls and walls and floor and what have you.
Oh Lord. So as I see you do all this in an attempt to make nice and to get to know you better, you mentioned earlier there was someone you wish to spend as little interaction with as possible. Is this person here?
You speaking of my grandfather?
Yes.
No, we are heading to his manor tomorrow. Here is actually, because we're at an orc tribe. This is Unga's kin.
Yeah, they kind of got imprisoned and frozen in time by an evil sphinx.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Unga's almost as old as his mother at this point in time. It's weird.
See. So, in I guess an attempt of trying to help out with the entertainment, I'll use minor illusion to kind of like make like a little bit of sparkling effects, like a little bit of like almost like sparklers, you know what I mean? Just for the kids to play around with as they circle around them.
Well, they love that. Like dancing and everything.
And since it can't hurt them.
Right? And I guess while that's happening, assuming we're gonna take a long rest, and at some point, I'm also gonna use major image as well to kind of like have the sparklers turn into like little fireflies that are kind of like going around them, and just something they can play with.
Oh, and they do with zeal.
Do we long rest with the orc tribe?
That's up to you.
I was kind of asking everybody, but
This.
I vote yes, but at some point Prudence would like to pull Cassios to the side and she will just sort of like start walking with him kind of on the outskirts of the village. So you are our brother. That does not oblige you to come with us. I want you to know that. I understand that we were very heavy-handed with the talk of destiny because, frankly speaking, our brother Vent was very much about destiny. And he recently chose to fulfill his political duties to leave us. And we have a bit of a hole, as it were, in our hearts and in our group. I don't want you to feel pressured, but know that you are welcome to come with us.
Well, I already asked someone to take my on-call tonight, and there's a lot happening, and I need to feel a part of something since being ripped away from my home.
That is
So
very
yes, I
good.
will come.
Being ripped away from your home is very difficult. The village I was a part of, I mentioned the night hag. She was surprisingly benevolent. Obviously, as night hags do, they eat dreams, and, sweet dreams taste better, apparently. So she built a village where people could be happy, a village of ascetics, druids, monks, the like. I picked up a little bit from both sides, and she will summon the staff into her hand.
Ooh.
And there's like this very ornate, it looks like a natural staff, but it has these key points where it looks like there would be a setting for a gem that make it into a constellation that's very similar to the Sword of Xiphos, and there is light beaming from each of these.
Man.
This, and she twirls it like a monk would because she has one level of monk. This is the Sword of Xiphos.
So, as I don't touch, but as I feel the power coming from him. Like I see, reminds me of home.
I do not know if you can wield it, but you are welcome to try. And she will extend it to you.
What proficiency do I need?
Well,
It's a staff at the moment, so
Oh, then yeah, totally.
Also, when you take it up, it will morph into whatever it is you're most comfortable using.
At this point, probably a wand. Is it almost like it turns from a big old staff to like a hand held, you know what I mean?
mhm.
Almost like it shrinks down as is like feeling my comfortability with it.
Well, it clearly responds to you.
Probably
That is the
because-
constellation. Just physically manifest.
Yes. And as I'm really being enamored by it, oh, it's yours, please.
She'll take it back and it'll turn back into a staff. It is all of ours, not just mine. But we have always operated under the presumption that there are no secrets among us. So I thought it important that I share that with you.
I have no secrets, and apologies for coming up the way I did initially. It's just I had to be certain before revealing myself.
Caution is wise, but know that with wisdom and with caution, there must be trust. We are trusting you. And I meant what I said before. I do trust you.
He's almost a loss for words. He's kind of like you see him with as much as a +20 intelligence will give you. He's hard to come up with words, and out of reaction, he's just gonna hug you.
And she'll just kind of, oh. And then after a minute, she'll hug you back, and her giant wings will like wrap around you as well.
No.
You are among family now.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Like,
And then she'll just kind of release and say, but we should get back to camp. I just wanted you to see the sword of Xiphos without prying eyes or the risk of young children trying to beat one another with it.
And as we return back to the party, I'm gonna use some illusion magic to make my eyes look like I wasn't crying for a second.
There is not a single person here that doesn't believe you.
Oh no.
No, that does not believe you. Like, everybody believes you.
Oh, cool.
Is Talus still here?
She is.
Would I be able to get a moment?
Yeah, she's leaning against the post of one of these constructed buildings and like watching how happy everybody is in this village and like watching this celebration, and it's a very complicated look.
Is there, I'll try, like, without being creepy or staring or any of that kind of stuff, I'll try to like take note of what she's doing. And I've kind of been doing this off and on. I'm trying to figure out if I can, figure out like what her deal is. Like, I know that she's got a job to do, and right now it's kind of not tell on us, but I don't understand why she's here.
You could ask.
I was saying, I don't know if there's anything to gather, throughout our travel so far. But I do, if I don't gather any of that, then I would wind up approaching.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, and she is just sitting there watching what's happening in this village and like watching the kids run by, and she was watching while you and Cassius were playing with the kids, like. And she'll nod to you as you approach.
So as it's probably well aware, I'm not one for subtlety. So I'll come out and just ask, trying to figure you out. You keep talking about how much of a thorn we all are, and that you have a job to do, and you're being incredibly kind as to not bring down the heavens against us, to take back which, I guess, that which we've taken. But I can't see the reason.
Do you see all this?
Yes.
I can't take that out of the world.
And I greatly appreciate that. But as much as all of this is, it's not all from the star power. Some of it is just us. Would they come after us, take the star power and destroy us? Or would they just remove the power?
I don't know. It depends on whether or not they blame you, and I'm not confident enough that they wouldn't.
Well, then that in and of itself explains the one. So are you then here to support us in case another agent comes down? Are you with us for another reason?
I'm here because I'm chasing down the chalice. Somebody took it, and I have to get it back. That's what I was assigned to do. I'm here specifically with you guys because if something weird is going on, you're going to be in the middle of it.
Well, then Perhaps after we go deal with my grandfather's little issue, perhaps then we can try to make that our mission. Ease your suffering since you've been so kind to us.
I haven't actually done anything. And as a matter of fact, this kindness you're talking about has been me actively not doing anything.
So I'll try to, I'll try to get her full attention. Look her in the eyes.
And you've got it
You've-
easily.
You've mentioned the not doing anything, but it is the not doing anything of not reporting our whereabouts, of not telling your superiors, of taking on essentially a deception for our benefit. Yes, you might try to say that it's for the benefit, and I'll gesture towards the kids and the tribe that are now moving. But it's more than that. You are a different type of person than I. I can see your core is literally shining. You fear the loss of that, but you risk it with the aiding here. And that is noted. But every one of us that calls not just here, but this plane home has had loss. I've told you probably some of my stories. I've told my siblings many more, the hardship of just being me. And that's nothing in comparison to how many others suffer down here. Should you ever be stuck at that and you decide you would rather be with us down here and lose your status amongst the heavens, the choices you have made here have definitely earned my friendship, our friendship, and it should be noted and told to you if you have not noticed.
And she, like, you can tell that she is at a loss there. But finally, she just nods, and there's no scowl. There isn't really a smile either, but it is the most genuine look you've seen on her face so far. And she says, "Thank you. I don't actually have a lot of friends. As a matter of fact, you guys would be among the first. So, really, thank you."
But of course, and he'll bow and just kind of let her have the rest of the night. And Sin put as much as much into that as heartfelt possible, and any onlookers, because it's not like he was trying to hide anything. It wasn't like he was trying to put the moves or trying to do a line. It was literally just trying to be as straightforward as possible.
Unga,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Well, when Cassio comes back with Prudence, I'm gonna make a point to find him.
All right. Cassio, what are you doing?
Walking back with Prudence.
Oh, good. There you are. Hopefully you told our brother about all the dangers that lurk everywhere as we go. But for now, the most important thing is the danger we're walking into tomorrow. We're going into the city of elves. You know about elves, right?
Of course.
Good. So you know not to look them in the eye.
As he turns over to Prudence, like,
She'll just
They can charm you by looking them in the eye. My brother Vent taught me all about this. So when you're there, always just avert your gaze a little bit. Otherwise, you'll fall under their sway. You don't have to worry about with Sin because he's not a full elf.
as I put my arms around you and give you kind of like a hearty right there in the chest, like, of course, my brother was looking out for me. If he kind of like quickly rolls his eyes, like, yeah.
Especially with Sin's grandfather. He's kind of cranky.
Turn over.
and Prudence will like
Mm. Mm. Like, yeah, okay. Oh man.
But yeah,
So,
after that, I want to go find Grisha.
And you do. She's been trying to give you a little bit of space since you got here because she definitely overdid it on the boat, she's pretty sure. But she is very glad to see you when you do come up.
Well, Grisha, Mom? Grisha. What do you want me to call you? This is weird.
Whichever you're more comfortable with.
I think I'm going to call you Mom.
Please do.
Okay, Mom. Well, I just wanted to spend tonight with you before we leave to go to Sin's grandfather's. And I don't know, I think we got to negotiate something. We're going to steal a mimic. And I think
Do you
Sin
need
wanted to...
anything?
No, we're going to give back some of the things that I think the village children stole from him. And then we got to help. Then we have to help Talon find some tieflings and rip their stars out of them.
Well, I can't say that I know much about that, but if there's anything that you need from me that can help you in whatever it is you're going to do, you've got it. No questions asked.
Oh, I don't really need anything. I just wanted to spend time with you before we head out because I don't know how long that's going to take. And then, if it's okay, I would like to come back.
And she nods emphatically at that. You are always welcome here. And as a matter of fact, there's still music playing. Would you like to dance?
Yes, show me the dance of our people.
And she shows you several. It's like I don't know if you like those like Irish farm dances when they're like in the barn and like they've got the music playing and people are like jumping around and stuff. It's mostly that sort of thing,
Okay.
right? Like just excited communal, happening.
Well, Unga is going to do all that, but probably poorly and without any rhythm.
That's
I was
okay.
fully
She's not any better.
I was fully expecting, some kind of like thrash metal kind of stuff.
A little bit of that too.
Mosh pit.
That
Oh, please,
Irish.
yes.
nothing
slam
nothing
dancing,
but the
let's go.
Dropkick Murphys are playing. So yeah, I'll just spend more time catching up and kind of assuring her that she definitely did not overdo it and that Unga is definitely trying to make up for lost time, but he also has some things that he has to take care of with his siblings.
At one point, Lurza steals you for a little bit as well. Like your siblings, like your orc siblings, like really want to talk to you too, and they're like up in your business. Like if you've got little brothers and sisters, then you know how it is. They'll just be up in your business and follow you around like ducklings. They do that until it's time for them to go to bed.
I think at some point I turned the tables on them because I'm technically the younger sibling.
That's so funny.
And then also, a very grumpy Sheldon gets stuck giving lots of orc children rides.
It's really cute. I love that.
So I'll send off the hound to kind of play with the kids as well. I still got to come up with the name for this thing because until I impute it with magic, it only ever stayed for a couple minutes at a time. Now it's here all the time.
So you guys do spend the night with the Blackleaf clan, and that goes pretty smoothly. When do you all go to bed? Like, how late do you stay up?
I don't think Unga sleeps if there's if there's siblings or Grisha to stay up with.
Oh, Grisha will absolutely sit up and talk with you all night if you want to.
Yeah, he's just gonna forego sleep, and if that means a level of exhaustion or con save or whatever, I'll deal with that tomorrow.
Okay. Prudence, when do you go to bed?
Prudence will go to bed late, probably just after midnight. However, before she does, she would like to do a cosmic omen because things seem like they're going pretty well right now, which to her is kind of this, in her pessimist's mind, like this is a sign that something is about to go very wrong. So she's kind of just generally looking to her star map and to the stars that are actually above. And she's probably like out on a cliffside or something, just stargazing and whispering and trying to figure out what it is. Maybe lights a couple black candles, that sort of thing.
So, there is definitely something lingering over you, a shadow of some ill to come. And very soon, in fact.
Can I try to, not necessarily know what it is, because obviously that's not going to happen, but get a sort of attunement with it so that when it starts to approach, I can kind of sense that it's coming or something?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So she's going to do that. And then just when all of that is done, she will blow out her candles, put it away, and then meld into stone and take a pose as she turns into a gargoyle.
Oh, wow. You can do that. Wow.
Yeah. So that's what her meld into stone looks like for her, is she basically turns into a statue because she looks just like a gargoyle. So that's kind of how I flavor her.
Nice. Love it.
Sin, when do you go to bed?
So Sin is used to being up late. He's as a half elf growing up with elves, he's been forced to rely on less sleep than everybody else because elves only trance for 4 hours. So he stays up pretty late, and at some point in time, he does feel an unnatural disconnect to all of the celebrations and kind of just steps out into the darkness. I imagine the kids have gone to bed hours ago, and so only the hound is there with him, and he just kind of just exists in the darkness for a while, not like sulking and brooding, but just thinking, mentally preparing as much as his mental faculties will allow for the day and the adventure to come, kind of reminiscing over conversations, and when he's pretty sure that nobody is watching, he pulls out the mirror that he's been holding on to for quite some time and just studies it, trying to gather details for from the mirror that he does every so often, that just there's too many layers of vagueness, and he's just hoping that it's going to change and reveal what the future is, even though the vision hasn't changed, and has not given any further indication as to who this other person is within the vision.
I'm gonna put a pin in that.
Sure.
Cassius, when do you go to bed?
So, being from the Feywild, I am no stranger to partying. So as I see all these festivities happening, all the orcs like throughout the floor and whatnot, I can't help but to cast illusionary terrain to make this. Am I safe to assume it's kind of meager looking, or?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, like, these people have been frozen in time for decades.
So I would like to use illusionary terrain to make the area look like, once back when the Orc Great Kingdom was about and whatnot. I want this place to look hella looking good. And
So we're gonna take this and make it crazy.
Yes, and I'm partying with Unga. showing me orc wine, and whatnot, and it's not. I'm like, yeah. And as all this happened, like, just making some random ass spell gestures, and I think I'm doing something really, really good. But I accidentally cast Enemies Abound on one random person.
Oh no.
I don't know who this individual is, but they need to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh
DC.
no.
But I think I'm doing something great. But I'm like, watch this.
That's gonna be a 5 total.
Yeah, they totally failed that.
So, and that person absolutely does go absolutely ape shit. And as this is going on, that's what starts the mosh pit.
Oh man, so yeah, like they go, ah! And they're
But-
going around.
The other orcs are into it because they're punk rock. They understand.
Nice. So yeah, it's completely hungover. He's like, had a great time, everybody. Good night. You rock. Goes off the bed.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so Prudence,
Yeah.
it's about 3 a.m. when you feel it stir and begin to unravel and happen.
Oh no.
And Galayson, you're already outstanding in your field,
Okay.
and also you're outside.
So
and-
I guess we hadn't finished our long rest, so I'll deactivate the spell slots that I had used and refresh them. So there you go. All taken care of.
Okay. So you see in the distance what appears to be a falling star, at least for a moment, but as it gets closer, like kind of falling in the distance, you see it kind of take on the shape. It looks almost like a fox from where you're standing. And you also see a shadow passing overhead, white wings, a familiar visage as Talus flies out to meet whatever this thing is.
Talus is heading out there. I'll charge after.
And Unga, I'm gonna leave it up to you whether or not you see this and whether or not you go.
I would probably be wherever Grisha was. Like if there's like a hall where they gather, or her
There is.
home, or if they do things outside. So wherever she would be, I would be.
Okay. So yes, there are windows and you might see some of this going on, but it doesn't look pressing to you.
Okay.
So Prudence, what are you doing?
Prudence will fly toward the thing, but trying to not be noticed readily.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Okay, stealth check. What does my stealth look like? That's a +2. 10, 12.
Okay. Duly noted. Sin, are you trying to be stealthy at all, or are you just barreling?
Yeah, no, Sin is definitely a more of a approach with stealth kind of person.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Any chance in the darkness I'm getting an advantage?
Oh, here? Absolutely.
All right, that would be a natural 20 for a 26.
Okay. So, as far as both of you know, you have not been seen, and this little fox creature is just standing on a stump somewhere just inside the woods, and Talus is leaning against a tree, and they're conversing with one another in Celestial, which, if I'm not mistaken, Prudence does not understand, but Sin does.
No, I do understand it.
Oh, you do speak Celestial.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this just got interesting. The little fox is talking about how things seem to be going pretty slowly here, and that it's heard tell that Calden Lucifax is in the area, and that there's a spawn of Lucifax here. And like for a while, you hear Talus just talking circles around it, not admitting to anything, and then finally the question gets dropped directly, like, do you know anything about this? Have you seen them? And she says no. And if you guys want to insight that,
Okay, sure. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a 15 plus 3, 18.
oh, that little
I've got a 19.
yeah, that little fox absolutely does not believe her, but doesn't call her out on it immediately. There's just this very thick silence.
Oh.
And then it kind of vanishes in a flash of light. And she's just swearing under her breath after it's gone.
Does she seem to have picked up on the fox's knowing?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Prudence is gonna circle back, seeing that Sin's kind of got this under control and knowing that whatever happens is gonna happen at the village. She's gonna circle back around to the village and she's gonna fill in Cassios and Unga and Sheldon as quickly as possible, and then also just fill in Dad last, but also fill him in.
It's all right. He's like sleeping face down when you find him, so he's totally okay with being the last to know.
And when Prudence opens the door, she sort of goes like this, and then
Well, he's alone for once, which is good.
So when Talus, kind of sighs at the fox leaving, I'll just kind of step out into the area.
Could have told you whenever anything happens, you're always right there.
I like to be where things are interesting.
Yeah, well, this is probably about to get more interesting than you want it to be. On that note, I should probably go.
I'm concerned for you. You be okay. Whatever it, he, she, they were, they didn't believe you.
That was Zindiel's familiar, and pure-blooded angels, they're all they.
I might speak the tongue, but doesn't mean I know how it all works up there.
Well, what I'm saying is, unless you guys want to fight an actual full-blooded angel, I would say it's probably a good idea if I lead them away.
We're heading back to my grandfather's manor. I don't know how much they know about who spawned with Lucifax and who didn't. But if you're going in another direction, then that would hopefully mean that you would. I'm assuming I have a general idea as the direction of my father's or grandfather's estate. So that way to my grandfather's, that way to, where the angel should go.
And she's quiet for a second, and then she's like, I really wish you hadn't told me that.
I don't wish to lie to you.
Yeah, but now if they force it out of me, I don't want you guys to get hurt.
Don't do anything that's going to. Don't do anything that's going to have lasting repercussions without. You have been a friend to us, and I don't wish you any harm. But with that, I will rouse my siblings and we will head out.
Okay. She pointedly does not answer that request, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't take you guys long to make for your grandfather's manor. And you do get there like right as dawn is breaking. And Cassius, you did manage to get a goodly amount of sleep, so you've long rested. Everybody else is going to have to actually sleep once you arrive here if you want the benefit of a long rest.
I was too scared. My con was too low to survive, and I ain't partying with orcs.
Question, GM.
Yes.
Can I look through the magic items that I took from that layer and see if there's anything that enables us to plane shift?
Yes. That is a good question. And my happenstance die just landed on a nat 20. So yeah, there absolutely is. You find this folded up doorway that you can just unfold and lock into place and open it and go where you want to go.
Okay, I am keeping that one, but
It has charges and you don't know if they will come back.
that is valid. Right now, we just need to be able to get somewhere fast. So Prudence will, when we are presenting the items to Galason's grandfather to help rebuild the fortune and whatever else, and barter for Frederick, we
Fernando.
can't. Prudence will mention to them. So this is a doorway that can take us anywhere. So if we need to leave in a hurry, the best case scenario for us is to go somewhere far away from where Talus ever was, so that way they will have no reason to doubt her.
Don't we have like a one-use teleport thing still too?
That's for this plane.
It is only for this plane.
Well, I've never been to another plane, and I don't know anything about other planes. I mean, I don't think we should just randomly go to other planes.
Well, we do have a new brother who knows about one.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
I would much rather go to his plane than Vent's or Sin's. Sorry, Sin.
Yeah. Vince was telling us much about the plane of fire, and don't believe that is anywhere I'm itching to get to.
And no offense, but I'm not sure all of us would last very long in the hells, nor would we want to be anywhere near where my mother currently resides.
So are we not tracking down the tieflings?
The tieflings fled to another plane. If we can figure out exactly which one it was, maybe we could follow them then?
Didn't one of
was
you
it the hells?
What didn't one of you see where they went? Like, not
Yeah, I
necess-
thought.
It would have probably been Prudence, because Prudence actually is the only one with a decent perception.
Yeah, I don't remember though. Did I see that it was the hells? I feel like it was.
No, it was the void. They went to the
Void.
place between the planes. They didn't even like have a destination. They just went
Okay.
out into the nether.
So we would have to go into the place between places to follow them. That being said, we could, and because it's between places, we could in theory get back with relative ease. She's gonna say that doubtfully. Does she know if this is possible or not? She's literally just saying it to try to make them feel better.
No, she has no idea if this is possible or not. She doesn't even know if those tieflings survived it, frankly, but you would think that they wouldn't have done it if they were gonna die.
Mm-hmm. So the choice I leave to all of you. What do you say?
Well, first we got to break Fernando out.
Yes, this is true. Speaking of Unga, and she hands you a portable hole full of magic items.
Oh, nice.
These may be used to try to barter for Frederick. Before we think about mimic napping.
That
And
doesn't
she, like,
sound
tries
like
to-
nearly as much fun, but I feel like if you keep calling Fernando Frederick, he's not going to like you.
Oh, Fernando. That one, yes. Forgive me.
Wait a minute, is there another one in there named Frederick?
I don't know.
I mean, they could be anything, right?
Maybe he's posing as a Fernando.
All right, Cassio, change of plans. We might be stealing 2 mimics. I'm not entirely sure. There's no way of knowing what's a mimic and what's not a mimic. We're going to have to take everything. And also, I think the room is full of cursed magic items.
As I snily said, it's a good thing you have a portable hole.
So, what kind of reception do we get when we arrive? Like, is the manor up and about?
Oh no, you get there before the sun rises. Everybody's asleep but the butler.
Well, then with a an attempt at decorum and not wanting grandfather to kind of wake up with us there. I'm sure Sin has got, places that he used to hide when he just wanted to get away, that were big enough that, the small group of us could kind of chill in until dawn actually happens, rather than have him come down the stairs and say, "Hey, your least favorite family member and annoying siblings are here."
+1.
Yeah, you know where the rooms that you guys can stay in are, and they're still prepared from you for from the last time you were here. So you guys can go ahead and finish your rest if you want.
Cool.
Clicking that long rest button. So good.
Yeah.
So
Yes, bad.
no, what's your plan come in the morning?
So we would, I would try to get a servant or whatnot to ask, if at his earliest convenience, if I could get a meeting with grandfather, whether it be with just me or with the lot of us, whatever need be done.
So you are told to meet him in his study at a certain time, and he doesn't specifically say to come alone. So if you want to bring them with you, you are at liberty to do so.
I will leave the invite for the lot of you. Whoever wishes to come can. Whoever doesn't want to, doesn't have to. I'll I'll basically say subtly, Unga, this was an opportunity where we know my grandfather will be occupied.
All right, Cassio, you're with me.
Sure. Yes.
I'm gonna
As
need
he
you to get
sees-
past the magical words.
Awards. Oh, Lord heavens, dear.
So, Prudence, are you coming with me?
Yes, Prudence will go with you, if for no other reason, because she knows that her presence will throw your grandfather off a little bit more because of her previous interaction with him. Where she had one of her Prudence soul conversations with him.
All right. I'm gonna ask for initiative rolls, but I only need them from Unga and Galason because I want to see which of these scenes to start with.
I got an 18.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Nice.
So we are mimic napping first. All right, Cassius, you are brought before a door at the end of a hallway. It happens to be the same hallway you guys slept in the night before. And it is definitely warded. There is a magical ward on this door. You can see it plain as day because you yourself are a wizard. What do you do?
Right. I don't have to spell magic. I'm prepared. So we're gonna figure this out, Unga. Don't you worry.
So do I remember what Sin's mom did?
Give me a straight intelligence check.
Perfect.
Oh God, help us.
That's a dirty one.
All
Remember, we
right.
start off with inspiration.
That is true. I will use my inspiration on this one.
Make it worse. You don't want to
Well,
stick with 31?
No, well now it's a 13.
All right. So you're pretty sure that she traced a shape that kind of looks like the number 3 onto the door.
Okay, so I'm going to pull out my thieves' tools and start kind of like investigating and trying to see if I can't figure out any of the mechanisms around it before I attempt to trace the 3.
Okay. Cassius, I want you to give me Arcana while Unga's doing this.
Okay. That's 19.
You've seen this before. As Unga is poking around and doing these little experiments, you can absolutely see where the spell is frayed thinnest and where you need to tickle it to get it to open temporarily.
Okay. Okay, just watch your hands real fast.
And it's like a bubble breaking, like you've disturbed the surface tension.
Okay.
The door is still locked normally, however.
Okay, well, I will get out my thieves' tools. And oh no, that's not good at all. Well, that's a 6.
You have my inspiration.
I don't have knock prepared.
Uh,
The spells I have are useless.
that is much better. That is a 21.
There's a click, and the door swings open, leaving you with the spiral staircase up.
All right, I will rush up the steps. Come on, come on. He's like a kid rushing down to the Christmas tree on Christmas morning.
Absolutely.
Unga, you've been in this room
Cool.
before. Cassios, you find yourself greeted in a room of obviously cursed objects. There's a jar full of eyes that follows your movements as you walk through, a whole line of books that are clearly cursed to hell. Like, you can just see the dark auras around most of these objects, and if there's a kind of object you can think about, there is something like that in here. And then just sitting on one of the shelves is a chest about yay big.
So, you remember that scene from Annabelle where the guy just walking person through? I kind of feel like that, but like,
Yeah, kinda. As a matter of fact, there is a very creepy glass doll in here too.
I am in complete shock and horror. Like, what madman would assemble such a horrific, just build such a collection that can be broken so easily?
Would you like to roll insight?
Absolutely. 14.
He's containing them.
Okay.
This is his containment room.
So I loaded up at breakfast with extra stuff that I am now going to be trying to tempt Fernando with.
Okay. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. It's working.
And so I'm going to start like trying to lure him back down the steps with us.
Okay. Yeah. So the chest sprouts little claw feet, and it just starts trotting after you, like the luggage from Terry Pratchett.
Nice. And I'm going to do that all the way back to our room.
Okay. Does anybody remember to close the door?
Absolutely.
Probably not Unga. He's busy.
Yeah, so as I Unga, put it away. Put it away.
What do you mean put it away?
You came to nap it, so nap it.
I am. I gotta lead it to. All right. I will pick up Fernando.
Oh Lord.
Your hands are now stuck.
And he scoops him like this. Cassio. It's stuck. So he's gonna hunch over him this way and kind of walk backwards and try to be non-conspicuous.
There's a maid standing in the hallway just watching you do this with her feather duster in her hand.
Is it fair? So yeah, question. Before this maid is seen, do I have a moment to do something?
Yeah.
All right. I would like to cast Major Image.
Okay.
Over this thing. So instead of it looks like he's carrying a mimic, he looks like he's carrying a barrel of ale,
This is why you want an illusionist in the party. Everybody in the audience take notes. Yes, absolutely. And she's just giving you this look like you guys just got home from a raging party, and because you kind of still smell like booze, she absolutely believes you.
Oh, ma'am, we require alcohol, more alcohol, right, Unga?
Oh, sacre bleu.
Yeah,
And
I
she
could go
just-
for a drink.
Absolutely. Make haste.
I'm a little parched as well. Sheldon chirps up.
Did the crab? And she just throws her hands up and leaves the hallway to go and get you wine.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Look,
As I just stare
look,
at her.
Cassio. Fernando turned into a barrel.
He's drunk. He's absolutely hammered, man.
Oh, she's gone already. She heard the crab talk and went, "I'm not getting paid enough for this," and left.
So, is it fair to say Cassio is versed in mimicking? He knows what alcohol does with the interactions, the stickiness.
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, I immediately was like, all right. So as I'm trying to help him, anyone who is looking, it looks like I'm helping him aim a barrel into a hole.
Well, I figure we'd probably like go back to the room we're staying in.
Well, I just want to get this thing away. I mean,
Well, you guys do go into the room that you're staying in, and
all right,
like
let's
you're
go.
pretty good to go now. Like get
Toodaloo,
behind.
everybody. Have a great day. Oh, move it, Unga. All right. So, as you're like aiming Fernando or Frederick, whatever you want to call him.
So when he does that, like I try and aim Fernando's mouth towards the wine. Yeah, good idea, Cassio. He's probably thirsty.
No.
I need an animal handling check.
That's a 16.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that pass because I just really love the idea of this. I'm tickled. No, the mimic will absolutely drink the wine and just chill and let your hands go. Like,
That's
Okay.
How did you know if we got him drunk he would let go? You might be smarter than Vent. Maybe we'll see.
And without completely acknowledging the fact that he knows nothing of being a ranger, in fact, not just being aware of these things, he's gonna kind of like, Unga, alcohol loosens everything, even mimics.
Oh, that's
Just remember
wise.
that. Just remember that.
I think I heard Father say something about that at some point or another.
Hey. Not surprised.
But don't worry, I had a long talk with him about consent afterwards.
Oh man. Oh Lord, that's a wild one. Wow.
indeed he is. Meanwhile, Grandpa Trisrell is sitting behind the desk when you guys walk in.
So I've made sure that I'm presentable, hair done up, clothes, cleaned and looking as neat as possible, doing everything that decorum would expect, given what I expect the nature of this to be. And I bow as do his station, as many times I refuse to bow deeply enough or long enough. Always remembered, but refused to do as I was younger.
He will rise as you enter because you are keeping decorum, so he will do the same.
Well, grandfather, the with the Sphinx is now resolved. The kids will no longer be pilfering things from the estate, and I don't have the portable hole, but I do. I am carrying a sack and all of the items, and probably one or two more things that just generally look nice and I think would fit the decor that were within the Sphinx's lair, that I had, pulled aside. I begin kind of taking out and kind of presenting back to grandfather.
And he will make comments about some of it, like things that were taken, and like tell you where they came from. And he's like, this will go a long way. I was hoping to ask for one more favor.
And what is it that I or siblings are able to do to assist you?
Well, it would go a long way to restoring the status of this house if we threw a party.
A party?
A ball. I was hoping you and your siblings would be in attendance. You seem to have garnered quite a bit of notoriety.
I'm rather shocked of all things that you might ask. An increased stay was certainly not one of them.
I figured it would be a long shot.
I have no problem. I look to Prudence, dear sister.
Question. Did he keep the spiders and other creepy topiaries that I planted in the garden before?
Yes.
Prudence will nod and she will look around and say, I can fill this place with flowers.
And he's kind of giving you this look like he's not sure if all of the flowers are going to be poisonous, but he nods anyway.
I will speak to my other siblings. I can't imagine Unga would not wish to go to a party. Not certain how much Sheldon will be inclined, and we'll have to see. I do have another person for you to meet. As chance would have it, we encountered a new traveler upon our return to shore.
I see. And what sort of traveler would this be?
Well, again, as fate would deign, he is a traveler from the Feywild who is yet another sibling.
And he sighs heavily and mumbles, someone needs to gild that man.
Well, it certainly won't be me. And I dare say there are probably many more out there that
I would not doubt it.
would call me sibling. I would have a question in regards to your trove of obscure items.
Of course.
What is the jar of eyes?
I suppose you're aware at this point in your life that I have not always been a stationary lord in a stationary house.
There are some conflicting opinions as to what you were before a parent.
Always a wizard. Sin. Always. But I once plied my trade in a more nomadic fashion.
So the tales are indeed true, despite the your ever insistence of them not.
I would not go so far as to call it adventuring.
Okay.
But there was a point in time where there was a bog witch, and my friends and I liberated some things from her hut.
And this was one of those?
Yes.
And is this just another item, or is this one that's cursed along with the others?
Everything in that room is cursed. All of it is sealed away for the protection of the public.
Do you know the nature of that particular curse?
Yes, to an extent. I know that people that were making deals with this bog witch ended up having their eyes disappear on them and they would appear in that jar. I know that the eyes are watching. I'm not entirely sure where they take the things they see, but it doesn't get further than that room as long as it remains within that room.
Now, one would think if it's taking information and you've got a room full of nasty items. You've told me I'm not the smartest, but one would think that should be covered.
That would involve it having to transmit magic out of the room, and it is well worded against that. Anything that it is sending out is being bounced right back into it.
Excellent. Well, then forgive my unintended slight.
Oh no, it's a brilliant little bit of abjuration. I will show it to you one day. And he's very proud of this, and you can tell that there's a little bit of him underneath the surface that's kind of geeking out about this magic because he wrote it himself.
Well, I doubt I will ever have the knack to understand it, but my new companion would certainly be inclined to converse on that subject. He is definitely more of the bookish caster, if you will.
Well, then I will be glad to pick your new brother's brain.
Prudence will kind of like use her long fingernails to poke Sin in the back just a little bit, lean over and kind of whisper through her teeth. Hopefully, said bookish sibling has not broken these wards that bounce the magic back.
Do you say this loud enough for Grandpa Trisrell to hear you?
No, she does not. Absolutely
Okay.
not. She can help it.
Well, I imagine, Prudence and Sid have done quite a bit of talking, and I don't know what language his grandfather speaks, but I definitely did not pick up Celestial here. Not sure exactly where Sin learned that one, but it was one of those things that, like, we could certainly have just like a kind of a look. Sin is definitely a bit insightful, and she would certainly know that. So I don't wish to take up any more of your time today, Father, but give me some time to have a conversation with my siblings, and if we are all in agreement, we can set forth a soiree and consider our little agreement resolved.
He inclines his head, and as he is raising it again, he gives Prudence a slight questioning look. And he looks a little bit uncomfortable.
Prudence will just hold his gaze for just a little too long.
And, given that this is, well, maybe not my home anymore, it was my home at one point in time, I would give leave for Prudence to, leave first. So I would open the door for her, bow again at grandfather. And, as soon as the door closes behind me, I would, shake off all the hoity-toityness and kind of go back to my normal, easy posture. Well, I didn't hear anything. Let's go make sure our brothers are all right.
A bog witch. Did you hear what he said? A bog witch.
I did not know if that was any connection.
I was raised by a night hag. They aren't far off.
You've shared quite a bit of story. Could very well have crossed paths, your stepmother and my grandfather.
I would have no doubt. But what is worse, we decided that a good idea was to encourage the two most volatile and unpredictable, because we don't know them yet, of our siblings to go and break the wards on the only barrier between that jar and the bog witch. This is lovely, fantastic. And she just throws her arms in the air and starts muttering to herself as they go down the hall.
Prudence, take an extra point of inspiration. I loved that.
You guys are going down the hall. All you hear is coming from our room. Oh shit, 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 oh shit. And you guys get closer, it audibly gets louder. Like, oh god.
Do you see? The Bog Witch has cast her curse already.
I feel like you guys opened the door to me cradling this chest that like it's a baby and kind of just rocking it.
It's actually a barrel right now.
Mm.
It took a form that fit in your arms easier, but it still has a mouth. And his tongue is just kind of lolling out like a dog that's been scratched in the right spot.
It was the name Fernando. Fernando. Fernando loves wine. Did you know mimics love wine?
Who doesn't love wine?
And if you give it enough wine, it gets unsticky. Did you know mimics are sticky?
Yes, but more importantly, and she turns and grabs Cassius very aggressively by the shoulders and meets his eyes. Tell me you did not break the wards on that door.
He doesn't say anything, but his concentration immediately pops as Fernando turns back to a mimic. That was in there.
Yes, are the wards intact, dear brother?
Oh, he certainly opened the door for me.
That was in there, and is no longer in there.
Yes, that
Oh, don't worry. We shut the door behind us.
I'm gonna step out of the room, and I'm gonna. Do we have bells in this house to summon people, or do I just go find? So I'll ring a bell when someone shows up. I'll ask them to bring my mother, if she's available, or bring me to her, whichever is easier.
All right, and she will come to you. And she's got like this basket of flowers she's been arranging, and she's still got it hooked over one arm. And then she smiles, and she's like, "Son, I wasn't expecting you home quite so early."
Well, things are things.
As you're talking, she is taking a blue flower out of her arrangement and tucking it into your hair kind of absently.
Totally allow it. I'll tell you the full story later. Unga is kidnapping Fernando, and we want to make sure that the wards on grandfather's room is okay.
Okay, I'll go check.
Thank you so much.
And she passes you the basket and wanders down the hall in this like very Luna Lovegood-esque way.
I'll whatever the darkest color flower that's there, I'll put it in next to the blue flower, and carry the basket of flowers with me into the room with Unga.
You audibly start hearing from their mother's side, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit."
My mother's checking.
You feel a slight warp of magic from around the front door of the manor.
Siblings, I think we should investigate. There's some potential weirdness going on.
Lovely, because things weren't weird enough already.
It's us. Always weird things going on. I mean, we've got stars in our very bodies. For crying out loud.
But now there's a Bog Witch involved.
There was a Bog Witch involved from your onset.
Yes, but I could handle that one because I knew her. Tell me you don't know how to handle your mother or your grandfather.
I know how to do them. Most of the time I ignore my grandfather.
Never mind. She just goes on, and she's like,
so I'll head to the front door, and I'll give a little whistle I don't know exactly where I left the hound, but I imagine
Oh,
it.
it comes to you readily enough. So when you open the door, there's nothing standing in front of you, but there is a flash of white on the stoop. And when you look down, you find a blood-stained, torn wing. Just, you know, like big, about the size that a humanoid would have, with a note nailed to it. White,
Uh,
feathered.
Sin is gonna take a look at the note, but I mean, I'm gonna jump to conclusion like he knows those wings.
He does indeed know those wings. And the note says, "Turn yourselves in."
I think there's definitely gonna be like, tears running down Sin's eyes, at this. Um, he's gonna just be stupefied for a moment.
Oh. I go over to see, seeing if it's safe to come outside, like, and do I see Sin?
Yeah, he would be like on his knees, like kind of touching this wing, tears just running down his face.
I turn over. We need to go to brother, and head down. What's this? You just see the blood all over the floor. And I take a look at the note. Turn yourselves in.
Common or celestial?
Oh,
It's in Celestial.
dang it. That's a note, all right.
It says
But I think
turn
the
yourself in.
message- Ah. I see, as I observe the wing on the floor, like, this is of grave matter. As he turns over to see if the siblings are following.
Mm-hmm.
She suffered, is suffering because of us.
So what do you want to do?
The very nature of this means that they are not as good as they claim to be. But we are supposed to be heroes. And someone is suffering because of us. I don't know what the best course of action is. I don't know what they're going to do if they get a hold of us. This, and I just call the light to my hand, is a minor thing. They want it back. I have no problem giving it. We set out on a quest merely to find our father. We found him. He was trapped against his will. And in so doing, this happened. Wasn't something we sought out for. Wasn't anything we had the ability to put back. This is not humane. This is not something a good person does. Yet they will find that they have cause. And it's only one wing here, right?
Yep.
This is like taking a horse and removing a leg. They can't live that way. They don't know how. They can't run. They can't stand. They can't even sleep. To do this, he takes a couple steps, like fully out of the outdoors past, the entryway. So he's fully outside, and then just in raw emotion and rage, he just, unleashes, magic, and just a ray of frost that, appears, a mixture of shadows and cold energy leaking out of it, just kind of like out into the sky. I can't say what we should do. I'm only one of us. And I am certainly not our leader.
Just got here, but I say we put the son of a bitch who did this in a hole.
If Vent was here, he would know what to do. But he's not. So let's go punch an angel in the face.
Well, we do have a means of getting there. And she'll kind of like hold up the unfoldable door.
Well, grandfather wants us to attend a party here. Shall we ask him as soon as this matter is done? I don't think I'm fit for a party at the moment.
Sheldon sort of lifts his little crab head and then questioningly, as if tentatively, says, "After the angel?"
Without looking, I draw a short sword and hand it to him. Help first.
When you get the crab a knife.
After the angel.
After the angel.
Yes. In a moment. And I would like to fly back up to the cursed items room.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that book I pulled?
Yeah.
I want it. I'm not going to open it. I just want it.
Okay, you got it.
Cool.
But as you're going, did you can't get in through the window. You would have to go in through the door that leads up in there, and Galason's mom is still, checking, but she looks very troubled. And without having to ask, that ward is not intact.
The ward is gone, isn't it?
Oh, it's definitely stuttered.
Well, then I'll take the jar of eyes too. And she'll take the jar of eyes with her as well.
Oh man.
All right.
So
I have a bag of holding. I'm going to put these things in the bag of holding.
La 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 la.
Prudence is all about that questionably good / evil life. So she will have the jar of eyes and the book that she pulled previously, and then go back to everyone else and say, all right, I'm ready.
Oh, Sin is going to reach down and I'm going to say that, in the the dropping of the wing, that some of the feathers came loose.
Mm-hmm.
Take a small handful.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Probably should take one of those too.
Kind of getting a feel of how our brothers are. Immediately I just cast mage armor, like I don't think I need my evening attire.
Do you have evening attire? And she looks you up and down at your minimal clothing.
I mean, this is not my finest cloak, but it suits me.
Right.
All right. That is where I'm going to leave you off for the week.
Oh gosh, it is 10:30 already.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for running for us, Robin, and thanks for everyone for playing, and thank all you fine folks for watching. And We'll be back here next week, same time, same crew. So until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Hey, nerdy.